Hey guys, it's Colin with Church Wolf's Grove. This is the 6th video that we're doing today. Uh, okay. What I want to discuss with you guys today is... I keep needing to move stuff out of the way because I've been... doing a lot today. And we're going to go into the Stewart and Ferrari book that I mentioned in my other previous video here. If you have a copy of this, I'm sure you can find it somewhere. Degree initiations. Okay, first degree, second degree, third degree. I'm just going to come over here for this. I just want to show you real quick, then we're going to go into depth a little bit. First degree symbol. Second degree symbol. I'll get that in a second. And third degree symbol. Okay. Now, a lot of people, that's my phone off there. I don't usually be down here, but the first degree initiation is basically your very, very basic first degree initiation. This can be done either solitary or at the coven. I'm just going to read this little paragraph right here. It just says, in a formal sense, first degree initiation makes you a rank and file witch. But of course, in more complicated than that, a very experienced witch knows there are some people who... Hang on. Oh. There are some people who are natural born witches, often may be from a past... Okay, this book is typoed, okay. From the past, okay. A high priest or priestess. I'm not going to read it all, but just give you the idea. Okay, this particular book, it's very long and wordy here. It just goes into the actual initiation, the whole preparation. It tells you, okay, here's what I'm getting into. Your first degree initiation ritual. You should be blindfolded. A length of 8 feet, twine or string, anointing oil, small bell, 3 lengths of red cord. And it's going to go into depth on this later. I'm going to just kind of tell you how I did my rituals. Okay. So, your first initiation ritual is basically, and if I covered over a few more degrees, or a few more degrees we call them before that you have to prove yourself in ritual. We're going to get into that here later on. Your first initiation ritual is to basically prove to yourself or your coven that you've achieved the right to become a first degree high priest or priestess. And there are variations of what a coven or circle family will require for that particular degree. Don't be afraid of these degrees, guys. If you're in a coven or you're in a circle of family with people and they want to say, hey, your first degree initiation ritual, we're going to do this. Don't be afraid. No one is going to hurt you or harm you in any way. A lot of things are used to scare you and to make you really think, well, if I betray this coven, I'm going to have serious consequences. Will it happen? Yeah, maybe. Is it likely? Yeah, probably not. Don't be afraid of your rituals, because they're not there to hurt you. They're there to prove to yourself and the coven that you're in. We're just going to say coven because mostly it's just covens who do it. Prove to the coven that you're in that you are ready to advance and ready to advance into their society, into their world. So what's a first degree initiation ritual? A first degree initiation ritual is basically an initiation ritual into a coven, and it proves to them that you are ready. It proves to them that you have, your craft name, the basics of the craft, that you have the basic guidelines of what you learned in previous degrees or previous ritual work to become a first degree high priest or priestess. You have knowledge of basic circle casting, basic candle magic. You know how to set an altar properly. You know how your rituals of your coven run and work. The different aspects of what to do should you need to step in for, a ritual, that kind of thing. Second degree initiation ritual. Now, let me go into this for a minute. A lot of people, I just want to make this clear, associate the inverted pentagram with Satanism. Okay? Not the case in most aspects. Okay? You'll see if you're into Satanism, you'll see the horns and the bull's head, and you'll know that, or the goat's head rather. Sorry, bull's head. I have 50 million things going on. I gotta actually make this quick here, and but usually the second degree initiation ritual patch has, you'll see an embroidered design or something along that aspect. So don't mistake that with Satanism, because it's not Satanism. That's the actual second degree initiation ritual achievement. Some covens use different achievements for their rituals, colors, symbols, etc. When you become a second degree initiate, and this is how I was taught and how the coven that I followed, I'm not part of it, I still follow their rules and regulations. I want to emphasize on two important things. When you become a second degree initiate, there are two major things that you need to overcome. We'll say it that way. One, working skyclad. You should have no problem tossing your clothes off, working skyclad in a ritual. If you do, you might want to consider being a solitary practitioner. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but some people have a lot of, emotional issues or self-esteem issues. I'm gonna tell you right out. And I said this in another video, and I think it was on beginning videos. I have seen some stuff skyclad. I didn't want to see skyclad. I'm gonna tell you what. Just, you don't want to know. But that should not be an issue for you at that point. Okay? That should not be an issue for you to see another person naked in a ritual. It shouldn't be an issue, it shouldn't be a problem. By the time you hit second degree, there should be no snickering, no smart remarks being made. I mean, it's gonna happen, I know it, but guys, we're all adults here. And I know some of you younger witches, 16, 17, 18, in early 20s, look at that guy so-and-so, yeah, that one was small. Come on, guys. Or, man, look at that. That looks, I want to get all up in that. Guys, girls, we get it. Things are going to happen. Guys, you see some beautiful chick in ritual, it's going to happen. Okay? Learn to control these things. Look away, think of something else. Don't be embarrassed if it does happen, because it's going to happen. It's happened. It's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen. It's part of nature. So keep that in mind. But there should be no problem with you working skyclad in a ritual with a bunch of people. Second thing, get ordained. You should be able to perform wakenings or baptisms, requiems or funerals, and hand fastings or weddings by or second degree high priest or priestess. When I go into the advanced section, I'm probably going with my spouse on this. We're just going to do some practice rituals so everyone gets the idea of what they are, what they do, how they're done. I'm going to do some altering, of course, because I believe the first degree ritual is done skyclad, if I remember correctly, because that's how I went through. We have to do some video editing or video altering here, where I can't simply go and do skyclad on YouTube. So my page tag, and I've never been to that once. I won't do that again. So we're gonna kind of work through that. But third degree ritual initiate, basically that means you've achieved everything from apprentice or whatever covering you use till now. And there's usually a visual, written, sometimes visual, sometimes written test that the coven decides to do for you. And it's just a basic, you're at the highest level of that coven where you can perform anything. I'll go back to second degree for a minute. Also, the third thing, have some counseling classes. You should help and counsel people in your coven as second degree initiation or initiate. Third degree, going back to that. A third degree is just a recap of the first and second mostly, and it shows that you are of high-ranking authority to do ritual, to do anything that the coven would need of you. Now, in some covens, they have degrees after that. It could be elder, it could be something, 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 it doesn't matter. Those are just like sub-degrees that show the coven that you've achieved more, or the higher levels of that coven. So, to make it simple, your third degree is basically everything you've learned from the time you enter the coven. Some covens just do first, second, third degree. Other covens do stuff before and stuff after each degree. We're going to get into that here in the advanced stuff when I finish going through all these books. So, that's pretty much how the degrees work. I'm just going to go into just here. It just says a second degree initiate promotes a first degree witch to a high priest or priestess, not necessarily, of course, as leader of his or her own coven. It just goes on to say that basically something I said about being, a second degree witch may initiate others only, of course, with the what this is, of course, with the opposite sex. That doesn't matter. This book is old school. And only a first degree, or basically it's saying a first degree can initiate a first degree, second degree can initiate a second degree, and so on and so forth. Then it mentions tradition here. We're not going to get into that right now. And then when you go to your third degree, so it says that's important here. Not really. The preparation for a second degree ritual or initiation: a blindfold, 3 lengths of red cord, anointing oil, a new white unlit candle, a small handbell, items of jewelry, necklace on altar, a veil and a crown. Again, that's preference. And it goes into the ritual, of course. It's the date. Stu and Farrar have great rituals. I do use them for my initiations, and I add a little bit of my own stuff there too. And then we're going to get into the third degree here. The third degree initiation evaluates a witch to their highest of the 3 grades of the craft. In a sense, a third degree witch is fully independent, and it just goes into saying about what they do and that kind of stuff. They can be a leader of the covenant, they perform rituals, they perform rites, so on and so forth. Preparation for that, I'm just going to go and do it a little bit here just because some of you may not be aware. There are no preparation things for the 3rd degree, but it does go into some ideas you can use. As far as going into, I'm going to do a page 2 because I have something I have to do here shortly, but I'm just going to stop this for right now, and I'm going to do a video 2 on initiations, because like I said, I got something I have to go take care of. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back probably at some point.